Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk to you about three key concepts before we can go further into how mindfulness works and how mindfulness meditation will be beneficial for you. So, the first concept I want to talk about is the external and the internal world. And this one is a very important one because we often pay attention to the external world, which are things we can see, things we can hear, and which are pretty much like very obvious to your eye. Like it's very obvious that, there's a tree there or there's a chair there. And this external world is actually constantly impacting our internal world. And this is one part of ourselves that we don't really pay attention to. And the thing about meditation is that it's a lot to do with introspection and reflection. And you might often think that if things are just happening in front of me, I can take it at face value and I can just kind of make a conclusion out of it and then respond to it accordingly. But very often, those external factors, which could be a life situation, which could be a person, which could be a thing, it could be anything, is always kind of triggering very deep emotional kind of reactions inside of you, or forming emotional and thought patterns and emotional patterns within you, which you're not always aware of. And it is very important to introspect that internal world and take time to see what you really feel and what you really think about it and how that is impacting you internally. And a lot of the times people think that meditation or mindfulness is just about relaxation and it's about just living in the moment, just being there. But a lot of the times mindfulness is about kind of exploring those patterns of thoughts and emotions or behavior patterns that come from your past. And you can only do this when you really deeply introspect and you go into your internal world. You shut off the external world for a bit and go deep within and see how things have impacted you in your life, how you've come to be the person you are, how you have developed certain traits, like why are you shy or why are you extroverted or why are you funny all the time, or whether you are in denial about certain things. So these are the things you will kind of explore when you meditate. And this is specifically talking about mindfulness meditation. So just remember that when something happens in your external world, it's already impacting you internally. And it's important to go in and introspect and just observe that feeling and sensation and how that's kind of making you into the person you are in that moment and how it is making you respond to the situation in front of you. So that's the first concept. The second concept I want to talk to you about is the concept of attention. A lot of people think that attention is an unlimited resource, and they often tell me that they're very good at multitasking. And this buzzword multitasking seems to be a very upbeat thing when it comes to your work and your career and when you want to be hired by somebody. But really and truly, multitasking is not really being able to do two things at the same time. If you are doing two things at the same time, then your attention is split because attention is a limited resource. And a lot of the times we think that, oh, I'm so good at multitasking, I'm just going to do these two things at once and be really good at it. But really and truly, you are not doing that to your full potential. And when somebody tells you you need to be concentrating, when we were young and in school, our teachers would be like, you need to concentrate. And concentration is the focus of attention on one thing at a time. And if you're really concentrating on something, you are giving it your best. You're doing it 100%. Your attention is not split between two things. And this is why attention is such an important aspect of mindfulness, because it teaches you how to concentrate. It teaches you how to focus your attention in the moment, in the present moment, or on the task that you're actually doing in that moment. So attention is a limited resource, and you need to understand and you need to learn how to control where you focus your attention, how you concentrate on one thing at a time. The third concept I want to talk to you about is that thoughts carry energy. So every thought carries a certain amount of energy. And as your thoughts are flowing outside of you, they're also emitting energy. And as you're taking in information, you're taking in energy as well, because you're kind of thinking about it, aren't you? So if I see a lamp, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, that's a lamp. And that's creating a certain energy in my mind. And that's how we kind of generate positive and negative energy through our thoughts. And I know a lot of experts have been talking about this, and you can watch a lot of billions of videos on YouTube about how thoughts carry energy. But in the context of mindfulness, why this is important is because when you're living in the present moment, you make a choice of what kind of energy you want to create in that moment. Whether you want to perceive something as negative, whether you want to perceive something as positive, whether you want to chase something in the present moment, whether you want to get rid of something in the present moment. And that's why in mindfulness, it's important to know that every thought counts, and being aware of every thought is very important. Being aware of what your energy is like, what is the kind of energy that you're producing and creating and emitting and taking in every single moment. Becoming aware of it just gives you some kind of control over what you can do about it. So you can't always keep changing and controlling that energy, because when you have a thought, you have a thought. You can't always change that thought immediately, but you can allow it to sometimes pass away. So I could have a negative thought, and instead of engaging into it, I could just allow it to go. But firstly, I need to be aware of what that negative thought is and what kind of energy it's creating, what kind of emotion it's triggering within me. So these are the three simple concepts, and you can take some time to think about those concepts. You can leave some comments, whatever your thoughts are, in the comments below. You can email me about it, and I will be making some further videos about mindfulness and going deeper into the concept. So if you've enjoyed this video, then please do like, share, and comment, and pass it on to people who you think it would help. So take care. Bye bye.